The family scooter segment is one of the hardest to crack in India. What the customer needs here is familiarity, ease of riding, and the ultimate need to please everybody in the family, from the youngest rider right up to the old. So, when Ather said that they're building a family scooter, expectations have been sky high. What you want is the niceness of the 450 series with a whole lot of practicality. And that's what the new Ather Rizta promises. The question then is, can the new Ather Rizta deliver on a lot of those counts and still be as exciting to ride? Hello and welcome to HT Auto. My name is Samir Contractor, and today I'll be your family man to tell you if the Ather Rizta should be a part of your garage. The Rista is Ather Energy's idea of a family scooter, the do-it-all companion in your home. It is a sibling to the 450 series, sharing the same main frame with a revised subframe. The design then is conservative and meant to appeal to all. Simpler lines, flat LED lighting and flatter side panels, all intended to look long-lasting over attractive. They do bring a healthy dose of familiarity though. In fact, the Rista can feel so familiar at times that you are likely to confuse it with another electric scooter in the same space. We think a little more styling flair wouldn't have hurt the Rista's prospects. But the scooter manages an imposing stance with its large proportions. It is the same length as the Honda Activa 125, but with a wider track. The wheelbase is longer than the Honda Activa 125 as well, but shorter than most electric scooters, making it a compact package overall. The quality levels are quite high, with the paint finish, plastics and switchgear all feeling quite sturdy. Now, Ather claims the Rista gets the largest seat in the segment, and we have to check out if that actually makes a difference. At 780mm in seat height, this is an accessible seat for all, but the big difference is in the length of the seat. Nice and comfortable, in fact nice and wide, and for most tall riders this will feel nice. I'm 6'2" and I do think there's plenty of space for me to move around. I can move a little back, and even then there's still a lot of space for the pillion or for the bag as well, and that should be something that should be really helpful for people who are larger in general or who like a little more space for the rider and pillion. At the same time, the floorboard is nice and flat, so I can keep my leg very comfortably. There isn't a lot of space between my knee and the handlebar though, so I will still hit the handlebar when I'm taking a corner, so I'll have to just come out a little, and that's something I do think could have been better. I do think overall riding posture could have been slightly better, especially at the lower end, but even then the overall space that I get on the Rista is much better than what you get on the 450 series. Practicality is the Rista's virtue, and everything feels thought out. The underseat storage can fit a full-size helmet with some space to spare. Ather will also sell you a storage bag as an accessory that can be placed in the boot, and you carry it home with the knickknacks already tucked in. Then there are multiple hooks and a frunk that brings an additional 22 liters of storage around the apron. The flat floorboard is large enough to carry a gas cylinder, should you ever have to do that. Ather is known for its tech-friendliness, and the Rista doesn't disappoint. The touchscreen unit has made way for a non-touch dashboard. Ather says that it did not want to intimidate the family buyer. However, the unit should also be more cost-effective. The new UI is readable under different lighting and easy to operate using the joystick. Features like WhatsApp notifications and live location tracking are a big welcome, and game-changing with Ather Stack 6. As good as it is to use, we faced heating concerns with the dashboard on our test unit. Ather says that this issue will be rectified on the production models. Now, the power output on the Ather Rista is comparable to the Ather 450S. It gets the same motor setup, that's about 4.3 kilowatt or 5.7 brake horsepower and 22 Newton meters of peak torque. However, unlike the 450 series, which is supposed to be more performance oriented,
This one is for the family and then a lot linear. Well, power climbs, but not as quickly as the 450S. It's less urgent, a lot more relaxed in the way it performs, and I do like some of those attributes. The idea here is to make it less intimidating because the way electric scooters are, you're so quick at the throttle, but if you have a wide variety of riders in the family, I do think it should match to everybody's riding style, and that's what this does as well. At the same time, this is about 11 kilos heavier than the 450S, and that shows because it's not as urgent, like I said, much more relaxed. It reaches up to double digit speeds, about 60 to 80 kilometers with ease, but it isn't urgent in any sense. You also get only two riding modes here. There is no Warp or Warp Plus. What you do get is a Smart Eco and Zip modes. And let's be honest, neither of them are exciting. In the Smart Eco mode, you can go up to 60 kilometers per hour. And yes, that is intended for a good range. Whereas the Zip allows a little more exciting power, but it tops out at about 80 to 85 kilometers per hour. Overall, I do think that the performance here is just on par with what you would expect from a family scooter. A little more exciting, I would have liked that, especially for overtakes, and I do think there is room for a third riding mode, especially for those who want to ride it long distances. Maybe Ather should consider that.
Throttle input is crisp and Ather certainly does it best in the business. Power flows seamlessly and there's little to complain about the riding experience of the scooter.
The Rista is also a decent handler. Of course, this is not a corner carver, but show it a corner and it will not disappoint you. And I do like that because although it looks bulky and a little conservative, on the cornering bit, it does impress you in certain elements. Nice and confident, not too enthusiastic either, but just what you need. At the same time, maneuverability is quite nice on the Rista, and I think a lot of buyers that will be operating this in the city will be very happy with that. Apart from that, I do think improvements could come to the ride quality of the Rista. On flat roads, it's nice and plush. Mostly it does the good job, but show it a hard-edged pothole and it will travel to the rider's back. That I think could have been better. Now the cushioning is nice on the seat, but even then, the ride itself could have been slightly more plush. The suspension could have been slightly softer here, and I think that would have done a good job. So not too firm on the suspension side, but not too plush either. It should have been somewhere in the middle, and I think that would have just improved the overall ride quality on the Rista.
Open the throttle for extended periods and the battery will drain quickly. The company claims a range of 123 kilometers on the 2.9 kilowatt-hour variant, while the bigger 3.7 kilowatt-hour variant promises 159 kilometers on a single charge. The true range is more humbling, however. There is fast charging on the Rista, which is missing on several of its rivals. A 15-kilometer top-up will take 10 minutes, but a portable charger will charge the scooter from 0 to 80% in nearly 6 hours. The Magic Twist feature makes it to the Rista from the 450 Apex. It brings negative throttle up to 15 degrees for regenerative braking. That means less load on the brakes with better speed modulation and a small boost in range. The Magic Twist sheds speeds faster on the Rista than it does on the Apex. Unlike the Apex where the power surge is quicker and therefore needs more effort to control, the Rista's linear power delivery allows for faster braking. The braking setup itself is good too, with a strong bite from the front disc. The rear does a good job with the drum brakes, keeping you in control. Speaking of control, the Ather Rista gets traction control, a first for any mass market scooter in India. The feature modulates the speed of the rear wheel based on the speed of the front wheel and will come in handy when navigating through rough terrains and wet roads. The safety net extends further with features like auto hold that automatically engages and stays active for extended periods. You also get fault safe, emergency stop signal, reverse park assist, and theft protection. So how much do you pay for all of this?
There's plenty to like about the Ather Rista, but there are a few chinks in this armor as well. The good things: rides well, nice linear power delivery, decent handler, good on space of course, very practical, lots of storage spaces all around the scooter, and overall it's a nice package. However, there are things we don't like as well. Like the instrument console has been glitching with us today quite a lot. I do hope that gets fixed in the production version. At the same time, I do think that this could do with a new mode between Smart Eco and Zip that gives you a better balance between range and performance. And finally, I do think the price kind of works against what the model is. The base variant at 1,10,000 rupees is good pricing, but you do miss out on the major chunk of features that have been advertised with the scooter. The mid variant, the one we are riding today with a 2.9 kilowatt hour battery, that gives a decent range. But if you consider all the good features, magic twist, Google Map navigation, the fact that you get live notifications, WhatsApp notifications on the screen, all the fancier features that come with a Pro mode that's 15,000 rupees more, effectively making this 1,40,000 rupees ex-showroom. And I do think that's quite steep for what this scooter is. Slightly more competitive pricing would have definitely worked, and I think that's one big change that Ather needs to make this more mass friendly.
There's no doubt that the Ather Rista is a well-packaged and thoughtful scooter, keeping the family buyer at its center. What we would like to see is a slightly more competitive price tag, more so with the revised TVS iQube range and the Ola S1 series in the segment.
That was the story of the Ather Rizta. Let us know what you think about it in the comment section below. Would you consider this or the next family scooter in the electric space? Let us know that in the comment section below. And as we always say, helmets on a two-wheeler, seatbelts in a car. My name is Samir Contractor. This is HT Auto. Thank you so much for watching.